We're on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. And welcome to Women of Consciousness. This is Pam.
And Natalie.
And Natalie.
Of course. Always.
And Lala in the back. We're coming together live, finally.
I know. It's so awesome.
Yes.
Finally able to meet in person, typically doing this podcast kind of remotely. Which is good, right? So Pam's usually calling in and but now we're actually together.
Yeah, we are.
In unity. And I guess Pam wanted to really discuss, celebrating sisterhood, what it was like, spending the entire weekend together, and explain. Tell me what you were thinking about the podcast.
So for those who have been with us and tuning in, we're really grateful to our audience. And so we're just kind of continuing on. And we finally, for those, who are close to us and been supporting us, they're really excited for us. And so I flew out to Natalie last week. We've spent 6 days together, and it feels like a beautiful month or whatever. There's been no time. It's been just so much beautiful success on the business side, which we'll talk about. And then on the friendship side, we never met in person after all these years, right? School.
Yeah.
As Zooms. It's been Zoom meetings. And for all of you out there.
Oh my God. Zoom.
You know what
Zoom,
that's
Zoom,
like.
Zoom.
Right. And boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it was beautiful. And we're dedicated to obviously helping the collective. And so we want to be personal and we want to share our stories and we want to talk about, the challenges we face and the things that we overcome and the healing that we learn. And so we can give back. And that's the point of our podcast and our mission. And so we're just going to kind of dive in with this episode. I think it is going to be a little bit more different maybe than the other ones, but because we are here, and I hope the audience can, feel our energy. But yeah, I mean, what do you have? Anything? I don't want to, because I'll ramble on. So
that's okay. I ramble on all the time. I have like hours and hours and hours of rambling on this podcast. Hey, but it's all good stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying it because I am. I have fun with podcasts. I think I'm skilled at it. I just got an alert on my Facebook post about 6 years ago. I think I started 6 to 7 years ago is when I started doing live videos and then podcast and air and stuff. So for me, it's like, it's a beautiful thing to have grown, I think, over time, which has been a big, huge thing. With Pam being here, there is a lot of high energy. And yes, the sisterhood, which has been super important, I think, for humanity, that we as the sisterhood start to collaborate, start to come together, start to work with each other to heal these deep wounds that we hold on to sometimes. And so I feel really good that we were able to join forces and come together in ceremony and sisters in sacredhood. I think when Pam got here, there was a lot of stuff that we jumped into right away. And it was like, hello, welcome to Natalie World. And we're and it's go time, right? That's just how I operate. There's no
I love
prep
it.
time.
That's
There's
my
no
style.
jump into the pool. Don't know if there's water head first. Anyway, that's what I was told by somebody. It's what I do. And it's the best way to do it because you have to learn.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And it wasn't too much or overwhelming. Like it was perfect. It was a good flow. I'm the same way. I get up, feet kind of hit the floor. I set intentions. I know, you know what I mean? But working and having kids, my life is always nonstop go until the evening. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, but having that ceremony or the ability to collaborate and co-connect, because I really feel like we are and we aren't. Mm-hmm. We're seeing these pockets of collaboration between the sisterhood for sure. I think that's been ongoing for quite some time. Mm-hmm. But then, looking at the brotherhood, I know that there are friends of mine, men, who are coming together to collaborate. And so with us, we're like, we need some healing for ourselves so that when we are out in the world, when we're able to come together in unity with these healed masculine energies, that we can co-create and co-participate in the beauty of the magnificent planet we live on, and harmony, which is just, I mean, that right there is the big piece that's missing, that harmonious connection between men and women. So, and I think that it's so critical, right? It's always like, well, men or women or this or that. And we did some really pretty beautiful ceremony last night to heal, to call out to the men who are working on that healing internally, to be in connection with those sacred, masculine, feminine energies that are working on healing themselves and bringing themselves to that deep awareness of love and connection and harmony, which is so needed at this point in humanity.
Absolutely. And I'll say, we're talking about the successes and the beauty of everything. We came out, we had a game plan. This was, prepared for at least a couple months in advance. We knew. And I made arrangements, and my ex-husband, like, that was the first real, like, boom, waking up one morning and, he just felt so ignored and not listened to, because I'm waking up to him, like, attacking me, not understanding why I had come here, and, making kind of the same recycled over threats, of court or whatever, just trying to put fear, which is just so ridiculous to me and mind blowing. And it just reminded me and grounded me into the fact that we are doing the work, and there's a purpose, and there's a darker energy out there that has been kind of resistant and been showing up and trying, to, like, harass or just whatever. And it's unfortunate. And so, like, having that sisterhood right there to get through this experience and know, like, we're protected and we're loved, and we're going to keep guiding each other and helping each other forward. I've never had such genuine support before. And that has been really meaningful and impactful. Looking back at childhood, and I think for women, really, that's where it goes into, is like this girlhood, right? When we're in school. And it's like frenemies. I remember talking to you one time, like, oh yeah, I had a couple friends, but it was mean girls. It was like, they pretend. Or there's the boys that come in and divide, and jealousy. And so for the first time in my life, but because of my marriage and because of his control and, me not being able to kind of live more freely, and I didn't have friendships. Like, I didn't have female, there was a couple of moms, like I told you about that, but it's been like 12 years. And I mean, 12 years is a long damn time.
Yeah.
So that energy can't be denied. And for the first time in my life, in a moment of ceremony, in a moment of healing feminine and healing masculine energy, and having this intention for, union, right? This harmonious, a way of coexisting and living, not like partnership union, but just coexistence. I really recognize that I think when we're sometimes with family or in a partnership, right, we have an intimate, beautiful moment or a holiday or something, and we stop and we acknowledge, like, wow, this is such a beautiful moment. I'm going to take in this memory. And there was a point with the three of us where I was like, wow, I have never experienced this type of love and, like, feminine security and goddess energy, like, never in my life. And it was more beautiful than any moment with any man. Aww. Like, ever. And I am so honored and touched and grateful to just have that human experience in my heart, to carry on into my soul, to wherever we're going and evolving, to bring. And I feel like I always considered myself, as I was, on unconditioning the programming and finding my true authentic, pagan self, and doing ceremony and ritual with the elements and the gods and goddesses. And I always thought I'm going to be the lone empress, I'm not going to have a coven. Mm-hmm. And for the first time in my life, it felt like this ancient remembering. And yeah, that's why it's so exciting to think about the retreats we're going to do, right? The fire circles and the moon ceremonies and all the healing that we're going to do for like the women and the men, and really like digging our feet into the soil. Mm-hmm. And I just can't wait for that. And so it was just profound. So for all of the women, I guess, out there is really what I'm trying to express this, who haven't had that, who it's been jealousy and divide and competition and, just control over men. So you haven't been able to be your true self. Mm-hmm. Like, I just want to celebrate, sisterhood, and hope that healing, and you know what I mean, that they can find this experience, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. that they can know that there's something so much more out there than I think we're led to really truly believe or settle for in a comfort zone, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that, Pam.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just because it is hard. I mean, I think most women experience that throughout their life. I know there are pockets of women that, do ceremony and get together, and it's just sometimes you can't find your tribe, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you search, you find circles of women, you're like, and then something just doesn't, right. There's just something, it just doesn't click, right? Because you still see the circular patterns continuing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, is there a place where these patterns don't exist? And I know Pam talked about the shadow, the dark. I typically say that the denser that we are, the more that we're trapped in time. Uh-huh. So the heavier we are, the more collective shadow that we're carrying, the more karmatic shadow that we're carrying. As we go deeper, deeper, deeper into the shadow and carry that with us, not allowing ourselves to heal through those patterns, we're going to end up in time loops. Mm-hmm. And basically circulating the same narratives over and over and over. And it doesn't matter where you go. And people are always like, well, how do I break these patterns? Not really understanding how. And a lot of it is having to shed some of the shadows. And part of it is knowing what's yours and what's not yours.
Yes.
What's my shit? What's not my shit? No. And once you're able to shed the shit that's not yours.
Yeah. Amen.
Which is not easy. Because we're triggered by everybody around us all the time, is that once we get to the core of who we are and we realize our own shadow, it becomes a lot lighter. And we stop these time loops and we're able to actually evolve and grow and step into our divine purpose. And that is not easy. That's a very difficult task because the universe, and I don't know, I mean, I might rephrase the way that I think about the universe will test us. I think what happens is that these time loops are trying to maybe suck us back in somehow. Yes. It's almost like a black hole.
Yes.
It's like these black holes are trying to suck us right back into that same pattern. And it's like, no, I'm beyond, I've transcended this. Right. I'm trying to get out of that. So the gravitational pull is still there, but maybe we're trying to get out of that gravitational pull so that we can evolve. Mm-hmm. And a lot of what we did, because Ascended Master training is something that we really want to look at, calling upon the sacred council of Ascended Masters, calling upon the men and the women who are sitting at that council. I think we're going to see more and more individuals sitting at the table, having these conversations. Now, I know they talk about the 144 Ascended Masters. I don't know that we'll all be sitting together, but I think what we're doing is finding our tribe within the Ascended Masters to do the work that we need to do on this planet to heal.
The great work.
The great work, which is the great work of alchemy, right? It's the great work. It's the truth. Mm-hmm. And I think that once we get out of the gravitational pulls of time loops, then we're able to actually grow and ascend. For me, so during this weekend, we really found out, because I carry, I guess, thought energy, which
to my
and,
Hermes.
and it's all like time.
Yeah.
How do
I've
we
learned
figure
so
time out?
much.
Yeah.
Reincarnation. That was what I realized. I had always thought reincarnation, like I knew this was my last life. I've done so much work. But what I really realized was this lifetime, me being a Pisces, even this moment of where I'm at, is this huge culmination of everything. Like my soul is truly healing and clearing from like the time it incarnated to this planet, all the lifetimes. And that's why I've gone through heavy, heavy darkness. And I'm also transitioning, right? Because I've done the work and I've done the healing so that I don't have to be reincarnated here. And that's where the time loop cycle is coming in, I realized, because I have totally gone back to that essence of the child where I knew time didn't exist, right? Where my Hermes was guiding me through all of, my essence. That's now who I really have embodied, that remembering. So I agree, like we've had so much, and I think it's the power of twin flame soulmate, right? Energy. It's the power of, like you said, this ascended mastery. Us coming together, it's the quantum entanglement. And there's a massive, beautiful cause and ripple effect from that. And I think we're really, truly realizing the magnetic, just tremendous, like
the energy.
It's like an atom bomb going off almost. Like we're just having such beautiful downloads and boom, boom, boom. And oh, wow, like puzzle pieces clicking. And now it's like we have so much work that we know, like there is no more sitting on the butts and waiting around. It's like we have the vision, and what's, like I said, all of the things I've been doing on my own corner, all of my models and stuff. And so now it's like we know what that great work is for those ascended masters to help them heal and learn and teach.
Absolutely. And those who are ready to,
yes,
because part of what Pam and I did, and I did this a long time ago, was to locate my stellar body. And most people don't even truly understand what that means or how to get there. And it is a lot of heavy, powerful energy, because it gives a narrative to who you are in the cosmos and how evolved, exactly, and how evolved you are in the cosmos, and how to actually anchor in that potential from where you are in the cosmos into you. It's like thinking of a light way out there that is trying to reach you, and perhaps your stellar body is who knows how many light years away, and it has to go through all this maybe dark space or whatever it is before it's actually playing out in this 3D plane. And so that light force is you coming from this body that's beyond your understanding, which makes you such a magnificent being and bigger than yourself. And most people don't realize that. They're so afraid of it. I mean, it sounds very scary to some, to anchor into something bigger than you, and let that guide you, because the light source that's trying to come in, your stellar body, plus all these other light sources that hit you, are really trying to imprint these divine intelligences into you, so that you can transcend, so that maybe you can clear out that karmatic entanglement and time loops and all that stuff, so you can actually transcend to the next phase, which would be, who knows, maybe another planet outside this place, where your consciousness can actually go. I personally am not going into artificial intelligence. That's not where I want to go. I want to go to another planet, another blissful place. And I think people are thinking their whole body is just going to come and be taken away, but really I believe it's our consciousness can be culminated into this thing that gets sucked into another life intelligence, which would be maybe another planet and stuff, where we become another intelligent being. And then we just kind of carry that over. And I think that's why we see so many people coming in who are wiser than others, because, maybe they've been cycling that and carrying that over and over and over, and they came from a whole other dimension, with this consciousness and understanding, right? Which is how I feel. I think I don't know that I like I said, I'm not from here, and I don't have karmatic patterns in this planet. in my wherever I came from, I'm sure I did, but coming in here with a consciousness and knowing that I couldn't explain until now. I needed the language, which I didn't have. And that's a big piece, language it creates and stuff. So really anchoring into your stellar body, those are the individuals we're calling forth, the people that are ready to evolve in their own light, right? Their own, right? Absolutely. On their own journey, and then give back the gifts that they have, to give back to humanity. Right. We really need those individuals.
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh my God, we need you.
Right. And that's why I'm really curious. Lala has been, so I got to meet Lala. She's a beautiful, lovely soul.
Thank you.
And yes, thank you. Friends with Natalie. So thank you for inviting me into your circle again, right? This is why it's Sacred Sisterhood. So we hadn't really ever met before.
Never,
I think,
ever.
Right? It was like maybe 2 Zooms you kind of crossed in the background with Natalie. I know we did a card reading one time, and that was like, I think the first time we really...
Yes.
And from that, I remember thinking, oh, she's so sweet, and I really hope I get to meet her when I go there.
Aww.
So I'm just, I'm really curious, though, because you're like this little Padawan to Natalie and I. And it's been really fun, having our really in-depth, mind-blowing conversations, and then you're just kind of weaving in and out with your curiosity. And I think from my perspective, it seems like we have sparked something in you that was already starting, you know what I mean? A little wildfire already starting.
Fire, my favorite.
Right? I know. So I'm just curious what this experience was like for you with Women of Consciousness.
Well, first of all, I want to say you two are beautiful ladies.
Oh.
And I say that as a blind person because even though I'm blind, I tell people, what I really see are people's hearts.
Oh, I love that.
Right? Because that's what matters most to me. It's not about physical appearance or economical status. It really is about what is your heart all about.
Yeah.
And that's how I end up eventually, after so much time, as Natalie would know, eventually end up solidly trusting people.
Yes.
But and I am a woman, and I am trying to be conscious. but you're right. This is totally new territory for me. Absolutely 100%. And it's just amazing. Like you've said, right? I've been kind of in and out, see what it's about, see what it's like. Am I really going to be involved in this? Am I not? That's really the question that keeps going in my head, because my first thing is like, do I trust?
Yes.
Do I trust?
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's huge. Trust is huge, right? We all have trust blocks.
Yeah.
So it's been beautiful to witness you opening and transforming and trusting me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Trusting you.
Yes.
And then verbally telling Natalie that I do trust you.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't seem like it. Because if I didn't trust Natalie, I wouldn't be staying with Natalie for the moment right now.
Right.
And I've told her that before, and I don't think she understands. I don't think you understand how much that means for me to like trust someone and be like, okay, I'll go crash on your couch. like I know that, people, there's a lot of people who they're okay with that and they're comfortable with that. Me, I was just never like that. Never, ever, ever. And it has a lot to do with my own crap from my past and the things that I've had dealt with, distrusting family not standing up for me, or family not protecting me. And so what I think is like, so if my own family doesn't protect me,
right,
who the fuck can I trust to protect me? Who the fuck can I really rely on? Mm-hmm. And obviously, it's my Kung Fu sister and my spiritual sister, Pam.
Oh, honey, I love that.
And and then it's funny because a saying came to mind that we have in Spanish that says, "El que se arrima a buen árbol, buena sombra le toca," meaning that when you get near a flourishing tree, a good tree, you get good shade yourself.
Oh.
And I feel like that's what I'm receiving as I'm sitting here with you ladies, as I've been engaging in some of your activities, like last night, with the sacred ceremony. You were saying, this is my first sisterhood. Yes. And I'm like, Me too. Me too.
Me
It
three.
really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And me three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's crazy to
Mm.
me to see girls like you who are so high up there, right?
I don't know about high.
Well, okay.
Well, you were kind of
You
on
were
a
kinda
natural
high
high.
last night.
Yeah. You were definitely.
You're like, somebody put something in my tea, and I'm like, I don't know, girl.
Yeah, that's just the universe giving you good vibes.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys being so elevated,
Uh,
not high. And then me being totally new at this, like just trying to,
Mhm.
figure this out for myself. But we're all at the same level, looking for community and
Yes.
connection,
Right.
and finding those people is like the hardest thing
Yes.
ever,
Mhm.
ever. And I'm so grateful
Mhm.
and thankful that I didn't have to go through years and years and years of this that you girls have had to go through.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I was born in the right space. I was reborn in the right space.
Nice. I'm so happy for you for that.
You guys did the work. Thank you.
You're welcome. We did.
we
That's
always
the point.
we continue to do the work because
Right?
it's never ending.
Because there's more. There's more
So much
coming
more.
in.
so much more.
You got to ride the waves.
You do. I mean, maybe you come to a day where it's just like, I always think like when I close my eyes and I die, then I'm going to be like,
Yes.
that was it. I mean, it was like this big long journey and I made it all up and so what? But you know what?
I like it. I like it.
But if I'm going to make up, I always tell people, if I'm making it up, I'm going to make up something real good, something fun, something loving and kind and harmonious and creative, you know what I mean? And all that, and enjoy life, right? Like just enjoy the beauty of this intelligent planet that we have landed upon, and recognize and remember her intelligence, because we are so far disconnected from our intelligence. And then we kind of talked about that even with the plant medicine, because I know that I don't do any plant medicine. I don't do anything. I quit all my I haven't drank in 7 years. I've been sober from everything for more than 7 years. We're talking about probably 12 years. And alcohol, pills, I was addicted to pills at one time as an alcoholic. And all of that, once, I came back from India, living in India, all that just let it go, because I realized I had a higher purpose. I need to get my shit together. I always knew I had a higher purpose, but I was kind of having way too much fun in the material world. I was like, just try everything.
Right.
Okay. So, and then I said, well, okay, get your shit together, right? It's time. And really feeling that call. But just talking about plant medicine, I had done shrooms in the past and stuff like that, but really not anchoring into a purpose to do it. Because I go to the cosmos naturally. I'm able to connect to that other space without doing any kind of, I don't need psychedelics. Right. I don't need all that stuff. But I'm even changing the way I think about psychedelics, because I don't even believe that we're tapping into universal consciousness. I think what we're tapping into with the earth is her universal consciousness, what she's gone through, not necessarily what we've gone through as a star being, but what the planet Earth has gone through. And so now me reaching back out to that, thinking, okay, maybe it's time to really tap into the Earth's intelligence and find out what information can I take from her in order to transcend, in order to put that intelligence inside of me, so that I can carry all of that when I leave this place as well. Yeah. And that became a big aha moment for me, because I'm like, now I have a calling and a reason to do plant medicine again. Because I always was like, I know it'll come, but the time isn't right. I'm not ready.
Right. And that's what I was trying to explain, to you. Like, I felt the calling to medicine. The first time was years ago. And then it was like this dormancy while I was continuing the work. Like I do ritual and ceremony, right? I can go, I can go take a bath for an hour and transcend and come out with some shit. So I get it, right? We don't always need that. But for the people who don't have that, they self-medicate, or they're trying to look for it, or they're getting it right, but they're not understanding taking shrooms in your living room and just like, yeah, tripping out is one thing. And there, whatever, but having it in a sacred ceremony space. And that's what I can't wait to invite you into, is my ceremonial community.
Right.
I was able to buy another beautiful white dress for that. I know I love these girls know I like to dress up and get stuff for ceremony. But it's just, it transcends the experience. And yes, it is Gaia's wisdom and her ancient remembering. And it's also like your place within that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've been able to really see, like me as a soul, as a light consciousness that has been, and that's why I know this is my last lifetime. I've been on that medicine and ceremony space. I've been on nothing and just received downloads. You know what I mean? It's been years of just knowing. So you're right. I think when you're called to something sacred like that, there's a purpose and a reason, and whatever you're meant to get out of it. So I love that we're kind of, like I said, and this is the yin yang, right? This is us like experiencing each other's, I can't wait for you to come into my neck of the woods, literally woods,
which is good. I need
mountains
that.
and ocean. Yes. Lala and Natalie, I told anytime. Absolutely. Right. Because again, we want to build community. And that was something we were thinking and really envisioning after having these little ceremonies, was like, man, I think you even said something like, can we do this every night? And I was like, absolutely. Like, to be out on the land but to be able to invite, like, and have men, right? Like you said, to live in a community, to be able to have our children, because I have children and a grandson. To have something to pass down, right? The legacy aspect, just living sustainably. And the beautiful thing I loved was like our photo shoot.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Raven and Danny.
Yes.
Oh my God, amazing people. Twin flames, right? Twin flame couple who did the work and came together. We got to hear their story.
Yeah.
So we're definitely talking collaboration. And that's the thing, like, we had a beautiful board meeting, which was exciting.
Yes.
And I was all like, we're done with people who aren't ready. We've been trying, to be open and receiving, partnerships from people in our community, but it's been hard because people, like we said, you're just aren't fully able to get through their blocks, and it's confidence, it's self-worth, right? It's time management. And it's unfortunate, but it's like, okay, we're dedicated. We know we're moving forward. So the photo shoot was beautiful, coming into alignment. And that's what I see going forward, is just that, collaboration and the right people, the right things, and giving that back now.
Yeah, I agree.
Bigger purpose.
The right time.
Right time.
Yeah.
It's true. And I think
Divine.
Divine timing. We did ceremony, and part of it was to, like I said, call in that healed sacred masculine energy. And so I for the listeners out there, hopefully, this gets sent to the people that really need to hear it. Also, absolutely. That you share this podcast because we are calling to those individuals, the women as well. How do we co-participate in this world together? Like, truly collaborate. I've done some amazing trainings with people and all this, and you think they're going to be your family, and we try to stay connected, but there's this disconnection. So I'm talking about people that are really, they'll naturally come to us, but please just, give this information out, because we are looking to collaborate with individuals completely, develop a community of people to create a council of ascended masters, of individuals who are looking to fully recreate a new earth on earth,
right.
a paradise, if you will, in some regard. Obviously the shadow is going to show up. That's never going to go away, but a community that knows how to deal with that, right, in ways that are healing and ways that we can move forward. That is what we're calling the sacred masculine healed that has gone through the shadow and worked through it and has come out on the other end, with some wisdom to carry. The wisdom keepers, the wisdom carriers, the ones who are ready to move forward, and the women alike, because that's really what we've asked for. I mean, that's what we did ceremony for, really opening our hearts to receive that divine masculine energy, to come and harmonize with us. That's what it's about, and that's what we're calling forth. And we're saying it. We did ceremony around it, and now we're calling for it in words.
Right.
And so that's
Right.
where we're at. I mean, we did a lot of, like you said, the photo shoot was a powerful photo shoot because, two friends of mine coming together their relationship is beautiful, but they really did talk about how, they work through things. They communicate. They, it's not easy, of course, but they love each other. They're committed to each other. They're willing to work it out and work for it together. And they both had this beautiful calling for each other. And then it came forth, So the twin flame scenario is very important to us. If you go to our website, you'll see that we did a launch. It's a very exciting thing. We launched our website, womenofconsciousness.com. Highly recommend that you go check it out. We are currently taking clients, women in particular, who have maybe taken on the chaser role. However, we will take we take all of the twin flame stuff, but we are looking for women who have been a chaser, to really heal that chaser mentality, that you don't have to chase anything outside of you. You are the twin flame. You are the beauty within. You can chase your dreams and your divine purpose. You don't have to chase things that are outside of you. That's really what we want to teach these women, because of the broken narrative around this particular myth or archetype, and believe that, they are the, part of the Ascended Master Council,
right?
Those individuals. And so really, how do we heal them and support them, right, to find union within themselves? I think they're doing this whole union with each other, and that's not what the twin flame offers us. It offers us that ability to harmonize our internal energies,
right,
so that we can co-create with the world and with our people.
Right. It's not about a love. Yeah,
I go over it again and again,
right?
Because it's hard. I mean, as humans, right, we love community, but I will say this in terms of sisterhood, like, I think for me too, I have a lot of sisters, I'd say, but sisters not that I co-create with in this way.
Yeah.
I have I've had some pretty, very healthy, feminine relationships. It's taken me a long time. Of course, a few live here, like Lala. Yes. Lala lives here. But I have sisters that don't live here. They're like all over the place. So it's like, we don't really get to like hang out. They're not looking to do this divine mission.
Right. Sometimes it's just a lunch date and shopping, a little talking, just to let it all out.
Yeah. Or I go visit them because they're, one's in like San Antonio, another one is in Austin. So I have sisters all around kind of the United States spread out. But their sacred sisters are, I don't know. I'm the weird one. I don't know that they're going to be they might do ceremony. Actually, Siobhan would do ceremony with me. But, and Delana might, but she'd be thinking we're weird the whole time. But, and Lisa, my other sister, she would totally do it. Like, she'd be all in. She loves all the girly things,
Okay.
She would totally
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She's so sweet.
She's the sweetest. And, she, but again, she's doing her work in her own way, but the way that we're doing the work is special.
Right.
It's actually a little bit more special. And I say more special because it really is working towards leaving the legacy.
Right. I feel like it's all the dimensions, right? We were talking about last night, that whole pie. It's not a slice, it's the whole thing.
The whole enchilada.
Right. It's right. It's the physical and the spiritual. And that's why it's like your Taurus sun and my Pisces sun are so compatible. And we just dream it and ground it.
That's right.
And I love it.
That's right. We dream it and ground it.
Right.
That's exactly the relationship between Pisces
we're both
Taurus.
right, and we're both Aphrodite, so we absolutely understand each other and that energy, healing. Right, we've been able to talk a lot about what that energy attracts from birth. This sacred, wounded sexual energy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That honestly. It does. And this is where archetypes and just kind of understanding, this higher energy is so important because we're born in with it.
Yeah.
And as children, we're not, as much as we're consciously aware, we're not, right?
Yep.
So understanding how the wounded Aphrodite sexuality really has not only played a role, but which is inevitable because, again, even you're looking at the collective of the femininity and all of what we're talking about, that darker, shadow collective, and we've talked about this briefly in other episodes. And it's just that sexuality piece, right? It can't be ignored in so many ways. But at the same point, we've realized how much beautiful healing for that goddess energy.
Correct. That's correct.
And I think the more we heal that in the collective,
oh, for sure,
that's what's going to help shift and harmonize these energies as well, because it's life force energy. And that's what people, you know what I mean? It's like the libido and all of that, but it's life force. It's something else that's deeper. It's part of the journey, right? Where we're supposed to go. And we can't understand energy from our own emotions. Like you were saying in the beginning, learn to separate what's yours and what's not yours. We have to be able to understand what's our energy and what is like an outside energy trying to flow and move us. And so, yeah, just so much beautiful healing, being able to go dress shopping, right? And then I know, and I was like, we're going to dress up, right? We're going to, you guys, we're going to do this ceremony in beautiful gowns and stand, on the balcony under the moonlight. And
oh, that was beautiful.
And yeah, and just, it was gorgeous. And so we could be and embrace the femininity, which would be sexualized. Correct. You know what I mean?
For
right,
sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Which could be like, and then as women, even because we were in the dressing room and there was, and there was a man and I didn't know there was a man in there and you guys are yelling to like the staff. Yeah. And so like that was a triggering moment that after we had to like integrate and talk about as, a beautiful group. And I think even that goes deeper into the collective, right? Sometimes it's not even our own triggers, but it's this realization of how for centuries and even now how women are just, we're not always feeling safe in our environments. So even if there was no harm, even if it was a mistake or whatever, it was a triggering moment and we need to be able to feel safe in our bodies. And we could love each other. And I think the wounded feminine, that's where that jealousy, right, comes in and like, oh, look at how she dresses or how she presents herself. We're almost intimidated by other women's beauty. And then, you know what I mean? It triggers within us the wounds because we don't have the confidence or the ideas of self-worth to like carry ourselves, in the way that we want or, and again, some of that's patriarchal. Some of that's just our own story that we're born into that we have to go through, right? Sometimes family. So I think like it's just been a really huge, like so many perspectives and so many eye-opening angles of this journey together on the spiritual level, on the material level. So it's been so profound.
Yeah, it has. And I think with the Aphrodite energy, you're talking about healing. And, I think at least for my narrative is the manipulation that gets stirred by that particular archetype with women.
Oh yeah, the manipulative wounded woman.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
And so, there is a lot of healing. I think women, as we heal, get to take responsibility for that part. I know we're constantly asking the men to heal their stuff, but I can say that even within me, I have that ability to persuade or manipulate. And I choose not to do that.
Right.
I choose not to be that way because I could be, because a lot of that sexual energy can be used for your own self, and that is the truth. That energy does exist. I think what's happening with the sex is that it's being thrown in people's face rather than really trying to understand it to heal it. Men and women are just, spitfire back and forth amongst each other. Women as well. Oh, she's manipulative. She's that. Rather than thinking, how can I help heal my sister from this?
Right.
She's carried by this manipulation. She's carried by this perhaps darkness. She's carried by this shadow, wound. We don't see it that way.
Right.
We see it as a threat that, maybe perhaps this individual will take the person that I love because but there's this wound in there that people don't really want to get to,
right?
Because it's something needs to be healed. And I feel like we as women get to first take responsibility for that in our own narrative.
Right.
If we're holding that particular archetypal energy.
Yeah.
I've had to.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's why I'm speaking on it, because I'm like, I'm not the girl who's jealous or threatened by other women. I'm the girl who women hate because they think that I'm going to steal somebody.
Right.
Right. And it's like, I don't want your man, but the energy I exude, right, is that natural sexual energy that lures people in.
Right.
Which is not what I'm trying to do.
Right. No.
But then I can use it to manipulate others, right? I could be living my best life. I always say I could be on the yacht, partying it up and enjoying cocktails and bringing my sisters along, of course, right? Like, hey, let's just do this thing. And and I did. I had friends. Natalie, you go, you tell him, you. And I'm like, they wanted me to be that vessel of manipulation over men sometimes too.
Right.
And I would say, no, I don't want to, and I dabbled a little bit. I'm not going to say I've been perfect because of course we all have to play our little games and try.
Right. We all have to learn too. That's the thing. We all have to embrace and explore sexual identity.
That's correct.
For sure.
So I am not wearing that cloak, right? I choose something different. I choose to acknowledge it and say, yeah, no, you don't get to.
Yeah.
That's not okay. I'm going to heal past this. And what does it look like to have true harmonious relationships, which then is a choice. Yes. And it's not the easy choice because the easy choice is just to live in comfort of, hey, I can have this nice shiny thing over here and I can go on these trips and I can do all this and I can, God knows I would have flown around the world forward and backward 10 million times already, right? But that's not what I want to do. It's not how I want to use my energy, and there is that what is it, that shine, that lure into it, right? Where you're just kind of like, man, you have those thoughts sometimes, but that's the shadow that we have to be honest about. If we don't speak about it, we hold it and then we become it. And so I just call it like it is.
Yeah.
I am not afraid. I'm not ashamed to talk about the whatever shadows I have inside of me, and let people know, like, yeah, okay, but we all have some. So, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, why are we going to not expose it? Let's expose it so we can heal past it.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. And we have been for certain.
And the next podcast is us exposing our darkness, our shadow.
Yeah.
And Lola's happy about that.
Yes, because I want to heal from that shit.
Right.
I want to heal it. I'm done ignoring it.
Oh, good. See?
Right.
Because what happens when you ignore it?
It festers. And you were saying about how, using it, right? But it's like we use it to our own destruction rather than to our building. And so by recognizing it and dealing with it, then we can move forward from
Right.
it.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
And not hold on to these circular narratives,
Right.
which is a time loop.
Yes.
It's a time trap.
Yes.
And I'm always looking for the time traps, and I'm going to tell you right now, my time trap is Facebook. I have to keep saying it.
Yeah.
Have I learned?
Well, we have work to do now, honey. I ain't gonna let you.
Don't let me do
We got the great work.
I'm like, oh, I'm out of a time loop, and then I got sucked into AI time loop.
Oh.
That damn AI is tricksy.
Yeah.
It got me. And I joke about it because it's the truth. It does. It has me, and I have to be honest about it.
Well, that's that dark force that we said. It's not even the collective shadow. It's a more universal consciousness that we're trying to understand and figure out. But
and it's a lot.
It is. It's something far beyond a human energy. And it is. It's trying. It's as a collective. This is something that's coming after us as a collective, as the planet that wants to keep Gaia and all of humanity locked into these
time loops,
right? Reincarnation, break the cycle of reincarnation, right? This is where we need to ascend. And
some will, some won't. And you know what?
Right.
Like I always
said, some are meant to keep reincarnating.
That's correct.
But
Don't
the point is not
afraid.
forever, the infinity, right? We need to break the infinity. Only reincarnate till you learned enough to be able to go on. That's the point. Don't spend infinity here.
I mean, unless you want to. I personally, I know that there's
it's a learning school.
It is.
I don't feel like we're meant to. We're learning school.
But you know, well, some people could be, but there's nothing right, wrong, good, or bad about it. Anyway, like I think if people want to come back, you know, I've had people say I want to come back. Oh, cool. No, whatever your soul wants. If you want to come back here, cool. That's awesome. You come back here. You know, you do your thing. That's great.
I'm just like,
I know. I'm an explorer. Like, why would I want to stay grounded here? I mean, I feel like I want to explore all over the place all the time. So the cosmos would be a great place to explore.
Right.
You know, a new journey, hero's journey through the cosmos. But I think, you know, with individuals who do, not to fret. It's not a bad thing if you reincarnate. It's just another opportunity to acknowledge the beauty that the world has to offer and enjoy it. I have spent my entire life enjoying my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it all. And I don't have any regrets. Yeah. And I'm an opportunist. Yeah. You know, I always see the opportunities and I take them and I let them lead me where they'll go. And, you know, I've never, ever like kicked myself in the butt for taking an opportunity.
Right.
So, you know, I've always come out better for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not failure or success at all. Mm-hmm. It's the wisdom that you gain. So how can you lose
exactly
anything from that? Yeah. I'm so glad I took an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
With you.
Yes.
And everything. Like,
I know. Yes.
Like, I'll be your business partner. Like, sure.
That sounds like fun.
Right? Yeah. We're already
finally. So I'm like, I was like, I don't want to do this by myself.
Right.
I could have, but it wouldn't be fun. You know, I want to play in a sandbox with people, man. Like, I'm not trying to just have my own sandbox and be like, I'm the ruler of the sandbox. You know what I mean?
Make your own little sandcastle.
Like, you know, I'm like, hey, there's a big sandbox. Let's all like create our own little castles.
Right. Let's make our own little village together.
Our little village together and like co-create and like have fun while we do it. And like, I did that as a kid and I never lost that vision. Even with my cousin and stuff, we would do these like little tent houses on like the heater or the air conditioner on the floor. And we'd get the sheets and then they would make like a bubble.
Yeah.
And that was like our little like community, you know, like our little tent houses, and we'd put stuff up and you know, it was always this big mystery. We were going to go. So it was always there in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I was just doing these micro communities with my cousin because I was like, man, why does it have to be so damn hard? Why in the world do people make it so hard when we can like love each other?
Right.
And, you know, I just wanted to like have this community of love. I was like a Care Bear, right?
Right.
You know, like the Care Bears. Let's just have fun. You know what I mean? They love each other and live in this community where, you know, but I get it. It's not really how humans exist.
I was always Sleepy Bear and Grumpy Bear. Those were my
I was
two.
Happy Bear and I was Papa Bear. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I was like, oh gosh, what bear was I? I was always you do this and you do this and
Bossy
you do
bear.
this. Yes.
Bossy
I
bear.
was always the director.
That's so funny. Yeah, but no, man, I think I saw that. It's funny because I know we talk about James Hamlin's Soul's Code, and
Yeah.
as I start like doing this work with you and talking and stuff, I start to see the pieces that I was creating when I was young that are now manifesting
Mhm.
as I'm older. And part
Right.
of that was like, yeah, creating these micro communities of like, yeah, it was like sisterhood and fun and like always on this kind of journey and like, you know, discovery and like
Yeah.
what's new and the curiosity and the funness of it. And then, you know, reality set in that I was actually human. And that's not how people operate here. And I was so confused. And I was like, where are my people? And my whole life, I'm just looking for these people that are just like, you're weird. I don't know. And I'm like, oh. And then I think I would find people, and then no, it would go bad. And I'm like, oh, man. And then I finally was like, you know, I'm just going to have my own world.
Yeah.
It's just going to be me in my own bubble, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, whatever. And so I think I just kind of, I don't want to say I gave up, but it's no fun alone.
Right. And I think there's a point where like you don't know how to look for it either. Like you can't go looking, like be my friend, you know, in the grocery store. Oh, your kids are screaming? Yeah, mine are screaming. Let's be friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's hard. I mean, people don't even know how to date, never mind form friendships.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has to kind of flow. And we were so blessed with school, right?
That's
With
true.
our college program.
That's right. Yep.
And now that vision continues with this this calling for our PhDs.
Yeah.
And waiting and watching, right, with curiosity and wonderment, how the future is going to continue to unfold.
Correct.
And the excitement, like you said, that Aphrodite energy that is now really healed and integrated, right,
Mhm.
with my inner masculine and all my other feminine qualities, because I have Artemis, you know, very much independent and strong. So this whole integration of who I am that has overcome those blocks and those obstacles of like, you know, lower vibrational things like we were talking about. And it's like knowing the vision, knowing my worth, knowing my beauty, having my integrity, knowing my boundaries, choosing what's best for me at the end of the day. I think there's going to have to be more cords that I cut when I go home. Honestly, the way that my ex-husband lashed out and treated me after me expressing I was going on a business meeting and I told him for a month and he didn't, you know, the minute I'm gone and he realizes, you know, I get attacked and I'm told that I'm a pathetic mother. And I'm like, I'm building something so beautiful for my family. And then I'm, you know, so there's those cycles, right? There's that test. I used to be really filled with fear when he would threaten me with court. But like, bring it on. I'll win. Like I'll win and I will gain. So I don't care. So now I'll go home and I'm going to assert more boundaries. And I'm not going to have, I'm done. Like, I don't need to communicate with him. Like our children will be, you know, where they need to be. I will never block him from them, but there's no benefit. There's no friendship, like, you know, and I just see that more because at the end of the day, it's a mask, I feel like, right? People can pretend to support you, but then when they see your success,
for sure,
when they see your light, and that's another thing, it's like we know we're doing the work because it's triggering it's triggering that like that bigger force that's trying to keep us from spreading our message and helping people heal. It's trying to say, oh, are you really who you say you are and filled with integrity and you know, all of this crap, but we don't have anything to prove to anybody. In our heart of heart, we know our pure, true intentions. We're not going to be stopped or persuaded or, you know, And I feel more empowered
Good.
than ever
Good.
by our beautiful
Yeah,
sisterhood
good.
and this
And you
week.
should.
And I can't wait to our plant medicine community is going to start, we're going to start having retreats in that space and hopefully welcome you in.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, so much more growing and evolving. So
yeah, absolutely.
This has been tremendous.
I keep thinking about trees. I'm like, trees just keep coming to mind.
Yeah.
Like what you were saying, we don't have to explain or convince
Right.
or fight our position, right? Because an apple tree doesn't have to convince you it's an apple tree.
Right.
A cherry tree doesn't have to convince you, I'm a cherry tree. Believe me, you know by its fruit.
That's correct.
Right.
You know by its fruit.
Correct.
So the same with this, right? We don't have to convince people of what we're doing.
Right.
Our fruits will show what we are doing, what we are being, what we're meant to do, and what we're meant to manifest and make real on this earth.
Absolutely.
That's a very great way to put it. La la.
Right.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, trees, man, they just keep coming into my head.
The tree of life, though. The tree of life.
But it's true. I think with and that's a great way to put it because I think that's exactly what we're doing.
We're growing and branching and we're rooting deep.
And the fruits of our labor, right? Like my dad said, I don't want to hear your lip service. Show me, right?
Right.
It's what we do. And, what we say is one thing, but what we show and do is what's important. And I think with those individuals that are hindering or trying to hinder progression or making threats or doing whatever it is they do, which is fine. Really, what that is it's not us saying we're going to sever you because we don't love. It's because people have got to deal with their own shit.
Right.
Like, that's it. You just got to, I've had to deal with my shit.
Right.
And trust me, people have done some crazy stuff to me and I forgive them and I move forward and I move on and I let go and maybe they don't even give me any closure. Maybe they don't even ask for forgiveness. I don't need that from them.
Mm-hmm. We can't expect others to heal
because
us.
They have to go do their work for themselves and let go of the people that hurt you, right?
Yeah.
And move forward, like period. End of story. Like that's just the way it is. You've got to move forward. Yeah. If you don't, you're stuck in a time loop and it's only hurting you.
Yeah.
The other individual is moving on and moving forward and has healed and has moved forward. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it is. So we're not closing the door on individuals. We're saying, go do the work. And sometimes that means that you've got to do it on your own path, your own journey.
Right.
Because if you
got to be able to look yourself in the mirror.
That's correct.
You got to look at yourself in the eyes deep and be able to truly see who you are. Yeah. And I can do that. Yeah. And I've done that. And that's why we're here. That's why we're at. We've done the work and the universe has rewarded us, in so many beautiful ways.
Yeah. And so those individuals that still come in, kind of like what Lala says, I don't really give a shit, excuse my language, what people, even though you dropped the F-bombs a couple times.
Yeah. I was like,
I don't give a shit, really, what people say about me. I don't, to me, it's not my business. I don't care. I don't care if we've had a past. If I hurt you, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm working on healing myself. I know what I'm doing for myself so that I can be a better human being to all other humans on the planet.
Absolutely.
And I know who I am.
Absolutely.
If you can't see that, it's fine.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. Mm-hmm. But I know deep inside who I am. Mm-hmm. And that's all I need to know. And I know what I've created. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
I don't have to convince people.
Right.
You're either for me or you're not. And that's fine.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and care about what people think about me.
Right.
Because unless, I'm not going to say fully because that would be untrue, unless it's constructive criticism and feedback that I can take back and grow from.
Right.
If it's constructive and it's going to help me grow,
then I'll listen.
Right.
But if it's just to hold on to old stories and circulate the old stories, we're past it. We're gone. It's over with.
I don't need your negativity.
Exactly. It's
been boundaries. That's what
and
boundaries
the same
so
stories over and over. Okay, I did that. I'm sorry. What more do you want? I mean, I can't go back.
Right.
And change
not
it.
even that person. Mm-hmm. I'm not even the same person I was yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
I woke up so beyond transformed from our beautiful,
Yeah.
They're just shedding and shedding.
Correct.
And like, that's where we just want to help. We want to help other people feel that empowerment and send that healing.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So if you're not dealing with your shit and you need
Please,
support, we do coaching.
Yeah.
We can help you through your shit.
or even Oracle and Tarot readings to be able to help with guidance.
Oh my gosh,
That's
this
been
is so good.
Yeah. The Oracle readings are really good. Pam's really good Oracle reader.
She has such a gift.
Oh,
Yes.
thank
Yeah.
you.
It was a gift. So, we do Oracle, we do tarot readings. Go onto our website if you want to book an appointment. We also have coaching packages available. You just book a discovery call. We want to make sure you're right fit both directions before we even take on clients, because we want to make sure that we're giving them all their time and attention that they need. A small group of individuals. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to get going, but you can follow us on Instagram, Women of Consciousness, or Facebook as well. Our website is womenofconsciousness.com. Like I said, you can find the services we provide. You can book an appointment. The calendar is up there. If you want to reach out to us, our email is on the website. You can reach out to us as well.
Right.
If you want to book an appointment. Pam and my Natalie's bio is on there, my bio. And if you feel drawn to either one of us more strongly, definitely reach out to us individually. We do have individual emails on there as well, just to let us know, like, hey, I want to work with you. And that would be wonderful. Please share this with other individuals.
Yes.
We are working to perhaps get a blog going from a friend of ours who she's a powerful being as well. Again, this is about collaboration. So all of those that are wanting to collaborate, have some gifts they want to share, feel compelled to support us, feel like they have something to offer, please reach out to us and let us know.
Yeah, that
because
would be
we're
beautiful.
here. And then we do have a donation button, because our end goal is to get some property and to build a community, not a community with walls and only certain people can come, right? A community that is based in the healing principles of the twin flame, the rising of kings and queens, the healed sacred masculine and feminine, coming into harmony for the benefit of humanity. So if you could please go donate, that would be really awesome as well. And then I don't know, do you have any final thoughts?
Not too much, just really, really grateful and honored. And I just thought we would kind of close really by doing a ceremony.
Sure.
Right?
Yay!
Yeah. So we're just going
Thank
to.
you so much for inviting me, ladies.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
I love this.
Thank you for being here. So we're just going to hold hands and close our eyes. Take a couple great, deep, grounding breaths. We really just want to honor our beautiful, beautiful supporting community, our audience that has tuned in or will continue to tune in and listen. It is an honor to share our wisdom and our healing. It is truly a beautiful gift to be able to receive such wonderful support and appreciation. We sent the attention to continue from our heart space with compassion and love to spread the word of the great work for the divine masculine, divine feminine. May they continue to feel our healing presence and just rise. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you to these beautiful sisters for inviting me into your home, into your community, into these beautiful mountains. I love when Gaia brings me into the mountains for healing and transformation. I cannot wait to really start the work and really give back. So setting our intentions, just blessings to all of you out there. Feel our love, feel our compassion for you, feel our light. We're really, truly praying. We're really, truly sending you all of you, all of humanity, every last one of you, all of our beautiful goddess energy. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. And we are just getting started. You don't even know yet.
You don't know.
You don't know.
It's coming.
Yes.
Mateo.
Mateo.
All right. We'll see you later, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.